Robert Bank representing. Okay, we are live. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you can hear me. There we go. Welcome back to Weekly Waffle. I'm in a bit of a rush, running late as usual. You know how it goes. It's a Tuesday, and obviously it's the new day of the week that we're going to be streaming going forward. A lot of people were saying Tuesdays. Some did say Monday, but you know, just how it goes. We're just going to trial it out, see how it goes. Obviously, with my partner in crime, Hass, how you doing, bro? How's it going?
Yeah, all good. Back for another episode of the Weekly Waffle. So much to get. Do you know what? There's always so much to talk about every week. Just when we think we've spoken about everything, here we are.
Gonna twin with you even more, bro. Got the glasses on as well. There you go. Couple brothers. That's it.
By the way, ladies and gents, we do not rehearse anything. By the way, so this is like completely the hat, the glasses, and everything is just like completely, you know, unrehearsed.
Just by chance. Exactly, man. Exactly. But yeah, there's a lot to talk through. Obviously, as you can tell by the title, I've had a big drop last week. Yeah, last week. Lorenz.og, New Balance. Bro, you messaged me and you said to me exactly what I was thinking. It looked amazing in terms of obviously the excitement about getting the shoes, but bro, it just looks like a lot more hassle than what it's worth. Now, I'm the sort of guy that does complain. We don't have things like this pretty often in the UK, especially, but I saw people getting headlocked, choke slammed, looked like the Royal Rumble at one point, people on the floor, police, whatever it was, I think it was. Yeah, man, what did you think of that, bro? Because that looked like a right mess.
Bro, one word to sum that up was chaos. Like I saw that and I was thinking, if I had to go to that, knowing that it was going to be like that, I'd have to turn up with my security. I'd have to turn up with security. It's like, you know, 2-3 man strong, just so that, you know, stuff don't go down. But no, look, let's be honest, the whole concept and the idea behind what they were trying to do and what they did was cool. Was amazing, and I would have loved to be part of that. You know, the whole process, you know, the whole ticketing system with the Tony's chocolate, the numbering, and everything else. It was so cool. Like, who wouldn't want to be a part of that? But it's the other aspect of it, the other parts of it that, for me, just ruined the whole experience. Maybe for other people, and you know, it wasn't cool. But you know, it was shades of New York, 2002. You know, certain Mr. Staple releasing the shoe, not on those levels, but, you know, shades of that. But yeah, it's a shame because, you know, Lorenzo, you know, he deserves his moment. He deserves everything and the plaudits that he's getting at the moment. And for me, it sort of marred everything just a little bit.
Yeah, I think for those, I keep shouting at Prozac, but this geezer has had literally everyone and anyone from the culture on his podcast. And obviously, masterstroke from him releasing the sort of part 2 or prelude to his podcast with Lorenzo, which goes on to explain his story about how he got started. And it wasn't all rosy like a lot of us, you know, coming into the culture or especially for him doing big things in the scene in terms of design. Yeah, it was a very interesting story about how he got started with it, working for Nike, didn't like it at all. And then, yeah, just taking on his journey from there. But yeah, he shouts out New Balance from the get-go. Him and Prozac, obviously, Prozac, I believe he went to I don't want to, you know, step on anyone's toes, but there was a thing like a pre-release party the day before. Judging from stories that I've seen on Instagram, obviously friends of the brand and Lorenzo either got early access, I think it was, or just to chat to him, chop it up with his people and stuff like that, which looked pretty cool, you know. Yeah, it looked like it was promising in terms of whoever wanted the shoes kind of got them, but at the same time you had to put in that graft, that work, line bikes all over the gaff, all that good stuff. But I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. If the shoe means a lot to you, and I guess the brands, obviously the studios, OG Studios, and you really are sort of immersed into it, yeah, it's one of them things you're really going to go for it. Now, I saw a lot of content creators there, which look great. You know, Sneaker Den, Prozac, FD from the future. I'm definitely missing out some, but it looked cool, man. Covering the event in person, running around like a madman as well. Yeah, it looked pretty cool, man. Has we got to attend something like that, man. Maybe the Corteiz drop that we're going to speak about. Who knows? If he does do something in London. Yeah, let's talk about the Corteiz 95s, bro, because rumors are circulating, and this was so smart from him again with his marketing. The a little snippet in the boards, on the boards, in a picture. Now I'm going to try and find it, but bro, what are you saying about these 95s, man? Because we've been teased with the black tall yellows for a while now. But yeah, silly question, but are you going for them or how's it looking?
Look, I'm a sucker for black and yellow. And yeah, for me, these have been a long time coming. Obviously, he's released the other colorways and the 95s that he released previously, dope colorways. But for me, this one, it just looks great, man. It looks great. It's like deep yellow tones. You got the all black, you know, uppers and everything else. It's just really, really, you know, it's simple, but it's effective, if you know what I mean. It's stealth meets sort of, you know, that yellow. I don't know. It's just like a beacon. You know, it looks great. It looks great.
Yeah.
For me, it's a long time coming. I'm glad the rumors are surfacing now, and it gets us hyped up for what's going to be a great year for Air Max 95, I think. And, you know, Corteiz is going to be at the center of it again, I suppose. You know, this is, you know, it's been planned for a long time, and I'm sure it's going to come at the height of all the excitement. So it's very clever marketing strategy again from Clint and the team at Nike as well.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to try and share the screen. This is actually from the Discord. Shout out to our Discord group. But yeah, I think it was Seamus that mentioned the mentioned the picture. Oh, where's it gone now? Mentioned the picture. Basically, look. So if you can see, let me try and zoom in a little bit. No, it's not letting me zoom in. But basically, if you can see that, I'll read it. It says Air Max 95 Spring 2025. And the picture is actually from Air Max 95 Enthusiast or ENT. This was what I believe this was from either Corteiz or Clint's story. And you know how he does it with all the marketing, the snippets, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm very excited personally about the 95s because we've been sort of teased so much. We thought that was the shoe we was going to get. However, it was the Huarache we ended up getting, that sort of pack, which I'm not mad at all. It's just, yeah, I think it's not weird, but it's kind of like this shoe was delayed, not by a choice, but like maybe because the Huarache thing was pushed forward a bit more. And obviously, from what I've seen, it looks like he does it in freeze, like the 95s were in freeze, the original pack. Then the Huaraches were in freeze. Who knows if this is another pack or it could just be a standalone. Yeah, it's exciting, man. It's exciting. Now, for those who haven't seen the shoe, I'm just going to quickly obviously show the shoe. But yeah, man, it's not the most exciting out the ones that we've had recently, but at the same time, it's definitely like probably the most wearable, I'd say. Like it's simple, it's clean. Do you know what I mean?
100%,
Yeah,
100%. And like I said, I love when you got yellow accents on the shoe, especially like this as well. It's not too in your face. It's quite subtle. The air unit's got sort of like a honey sort of yellow vibe to it.
yeah.
It's just so wearable. Honestly, it's wearable. This one's going to be a banger, I think. Definitely going to go for it. But yeah, it's just nice, man.
But on a scale of 1 to 10, realistically, what do you think our chances are getting these though?
Look, we've got a puncher's chance. Look, I always try and sort of manifest these things, you know, that if we want it, we'll get it. Of course, it's not always the case. It's difficult in reality,
Yeah.
but we've got just as much chance as anyone else. if we can get a pair that haven't been backdoored, because obviously shoes do get backdoored, unfortunately. But look, it depends. It depends on the numbers being released. You know, it depends. If these are really limited, it's going to be really difficult to get a hold of a pair.
Yeah.
But if the numbers are good, which I'm hoping it is, then you know, I mean, I'll go back to the Huarache, drop. You know, if he does a system like that, maybe for an initial drop, whereby, you know, you have to obtain a password, then you have to sort of log in and, you know, and then try and obtain the shoe that way. That could also be a good option, but we don't know how the drop's going to happen at this stage. And Clint's been known to sort of do a drop on his own website first. So yeah, man, I'm hoping and I'm praying that we can get a pair of these. But how much is the resale on the previous pairs at the moment?
That's a good question. Let's go over to eBay.
Bad at the moment. I mean, we're sitting at around 300, I believe, or just under.
Yeah, I think the last time I checked, it was around 350 plus. But again, it depends on sizing. A lot of pre-owned ones going for around 300, 225. Let's check our sizes actually. Okay, so yeah, about 350, even brand pre-owned, which is mental. 450, you know, 800. Don't know what this geezer's smoking. Yeah, 230 brand new for a 7.5. So yeah, it does range, but I don't know if it's just me, but the ones I've been seeing, or especially different sizes, dependent, it's like there's not as many of them on the market. Obviously close to release, there was a lot of them. People just wanted to flip. Now doesn't look like there's as many sizes going. Maybe it's the fact that people are holding on to them to let it brew, let it sort of shoot up in price, maybe in like a year or two more time, or the fact that there just weren't as many as we thought there were. Because bro, I didn't get any of them. Only really went for the first ones. The other two, I was a bit like, do you know what? It was kind of disheartening because I was like, there's too much hype.
I do get that.
Do you know what I mean? Just going back to the comments very quickly though, Kate saying, hi guys, shout out to Kate. She's saying Lorenz.og massively overrated. I said it. Oh, I can see that though. But I don't know, man. I think what he's doing is so unique. And I feel like if you're not a fan of the silhouette that he's done work on, you're not going to feel it as well. Like the New Balance, as much as I love his work and rate him like highly, I weren't that excited to go for the New Balance. Do you know what I mean? I weren't even bothering, to be fair. But if it was a 95 again, an official one this time, or even an ASICS, you know, Gelkiana 14 that we're going to talk about in a bit anyway, or just another Nike sneaker, best believe me and Hass are double teaming and tag teaming everyone there. Do you know what I mean? To get one of those chocolates. But
it's a Royal Rumble, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Kane and Undertaker, mate, it's going off.
Definitely.
But yeah, what do you think about that though? Him being overrated?
Yeah, like you said, look, it depends on if you're really feeling what he's doing, or you know, if you're not. If you're really not feeling what he's doing, then yeah, you're gonna get that sort of vibe that he's a bit overrated, etc., etc. Look, some people might say the same thing about Clint and Corteiz. They might say, and I've heard it before. You know, oh, these, you know, the clothing line is overrated. You know, we're paying over the roof for, you know, simple shell suit, jacket, whatever you want to call it, and you know, some people say no, it's, you know, innovative, this, that, and the other. It all depends on what you believe in at the end of the day and who you believe in. Now, what Lorenzo is doing for me, I have to agree with you, bro. You know, it's different, it's innovative. We don't see it too often, playing around with the balancing of colors and stuff, and it's a new direction that he's taking with what he's doing, with the projects that he's doing. So I respect it, and I do like it as well. You know, if I had the chance, you know, to have copped a pair, yeah, I would have definitely copped a pair. But am I going to go out my way and you know, put life on hold to get a pair? No, you know, there's other pairs that I would probably do that for, but just not these at the moment.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. I think with especially this year, with the fact that there's so many sneakers that aren't even announced yet, that we've heard rumors of, that should be coming out. Jordan 4 Black Cats, we've seen the Fire Reds with Nigel.
White cements.
The white cements, obviously, we know they're coming out. The Brick by Bricks, Jordan 4s, the all red with Nigel again. So many, I can go on and on. And when there's like so much hype about a shoe or a brand or, a collaborator, I feel like this year as well, if you don't hit, it's kind of like, okay, on to the next one kind of thing. But yeah, like I said, if you're not feeling that specific brand or shoe that a collaborator is working on, you're kind of like, all right then, like I can miss it. I'm not too bothered. And with Corteiz, a lot of people don't know or feel the Air Train Huarache, like for instance, me and Hass. So they definitely be saying it's not a hit, it's a miss kind of thing. Whereas someone like me and Hass we're definitely feeling that collaboration because the shoe itself means so much to us. And again, with the 95s too, some people hate 95s, but man, that was my shoe of the year as a whole last year. So yeah, it's all dependent. And I feel like the person who's collaborating or, the brands, if they're from a similar place like you're going to resonate a lot more with that person.
You're going to have an affinity with what they're doing. So it's natural,
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, due to the rushing around by me, we did skip over what was on feet today. So Broski, Hass, what was on feet, man? Any heat, or was it just,
You got some heat. You got some heat coming your way now.
Let's talk, man. Let's talk.
All right, drum roll, please. Let's talk. Let's
go. Okay. Love that.
Okay. I had to go with what was on feet, guys. This was on feet today. Air Humara, Nike Air Humara, basically. These are my work shoes. And as you can see, they have been absolutely beaten up and destroyed. And you know what? They're comfortable as hell. They are comfortable as hell. And I love them for what they are. Workwear. Just brilliant, man. But yeah, these were on feet today. These are always on feet when I'm working. Really good ankle support on these for myself. I know other people feel differently about them, but just a really good pair of shoes. The lace lock system is really good on these as well. I feel if you've got a wider feet from the top, it's just a really good shoe overall. And it has got the air technology in there as well. The air unit inside, air cushioning, so should I say. So yeah, these are what I had on feet today. If anyone else has Humaras, let us know. But yeah, these I believe you know about the story, right, bro? Where I got these from Nike at the time last year. And
was it a mad discount or something like that?
Yeah, but it was discounted only after whoever was driving for every nicked my first pair. And then I ended up getting these on discount for about £60. So in the end, it was sweet. But to cut the long story short, I was waiting for delivery on these, and then the driver said they stopped by, no one was in, and I never saw the shoes again. So when I complained, I got a discount from Nike, and they were already on offer, so I managed to get them for £60. So there you go. But yeah, nice, Air Humara on feet today.
Lovely, man. Lovely. Yeah. So for me, it's actually a shoe I had on my Instagram. I did a little rotational video, but it was the Tree Lines Air Max ones, man.
Oh, you don't know. You don't know how much I love these shoes.
So good.
You do not know.
So good, man. Do you know what this was like when the Air Max ones were first sort of coming back? I did a cheeky lace swap ages ago. I can't remember where these are from actually. But yeah, they're sort of like a cream lace that sort of boosts that beige, I guess, mid panel. The pinks as well. Some say these are a 420 sneaker. Now, I don't know what 420 is because I'm such an angel, but I get that. I do know what they're saying. But yeah, very nice colorway to the Air Max 1. And it's different as well, man. It's very autonomous. it's very like this time of year as well. It stands out. It's only the beiges, bro. It's very tricky to like keep clean, especially if it's raining and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I've been dishing these out because they were in this shelf here. They were hidden somehow, and I've thrown out the original box, which I'm upset about. But yeah, once they came out, man, I've been wearing them a ton. And it's just a lovely shoe, just a lovely, unique colorway to the Air Max 1, you know?
You could say it's a bit of a head turner because it's not your average. Look, it's I like to call this sort of colorway like a warm colorway, like make you feel warm. It's that, I don't know, all the colors just blend together really well. You know, you wouldn't expect the green on there to go with the beige, but it does. But then you've got the gold hits on the back. The Nike Air Max just works well with the green, and then you've got the pink swoosh just to give it that little bit of pop. Everything on it works really well, you know. So for me, I've seen them before. Huge fan, and yeah, man, really good shoes. Really good shoes.
Yeah, definitely one of those, not sleepers, because I believe when they came out, they were like a sellout. A lot of people liked them. But yeah, you don't see them too often. I think the last time I properly wore those was the Alicia Keys concert in the O2 in London. My missus dragged me to. But yeah, I remember just wearing them. But you know, as a sneakerhead, bro, I must have been in the loo waiting for the cubicle or something. And then someone comes out. He was definitely a sneakerhead because he was wearing Air Max 1s. He looked down and he's pointing it. And I'm thinking, what's going on? So he's pointing at my shoes. And I was like, oh, yeah. Like, you know, you have that moment, like the Spider-Man moment, that meme where you're just looking at each other like, you're a sneakerhead, you're that guy kind of thing. Yeah, it was that stands out, man. So yeah, definitely one of those shoes that gets appreciated, but sort of an unsung hero amongst the Air Max 1s. But yeah, lovely colorway, man. I think it's only right though, bro, because I know you got something. I know I've got something. But latest pickups, man. Let's hear it, bro. Let's hear it.
Well, so these shoes actually dropped today on sneakers, and we'll get right to it. So, and also massive congratulations to Kill Switch, who I know managed to snag a pair of these today. And the shoes I'm about to show you, which obviously you all know, was pretty limited, I would say, for an SB Dunk, but they are a collaboration pair. So it's none other than Nike SB Dunk Low collaboration with Riot Skate Shop, all the way in Bordeaux. I can't begin to explain how I felt when I opened the box and I saw these, because I sort of explained it in a short preview I done on my Instagram. I mean, as soon as I opened the box and I saw these, I thought, wow. I knew I wasn't going to be let down on these, and I wasn't. The details, the little hits you get on the tongue, should I say, sorry, the insoles being cork, the extra shoelaces having wax on the tips, to the soles actually being translucent and having that sort of picture of the grape inside it as well. I don't know if you can see that there, but there's a picture of grapes there, which signifies, you know, the process of wine making. Bro, when you do a collaboration, and I've said it with other pairs as well before, I mean, this is how it should be done. You know, it stays true to the heritage of where it is, Bordeaux, because Bordeaux is associated with winemaking. It stays true to all the details that represent what wine is, you know, from the stamp there, which is like a wax stamp, and then the cork inside in the insole, obviously being the cork in the bottle of in the neck of the bottle, the grapes, everything on here, even down to the stitching, which is stitching of, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little stitch in there, which is a dog, and it's the owner of Riot Skate Shop's dog, which is on the shoe sort of thing. So yeah, really cool shoes. I will show you the other pair now. I should have taken these out of the box before I've done my presentation. But
Bit of ASMR, bro. It's cool.
Hey-ho, I had to keep them in the box. Right, so you got 2 extra laces with these. There is a downside to these shoes, by the way, which I am going to explain now. But yeah, 2 extra laces. One is light brown in color, and the other one is black. These laces have wax tips, and this is where the downer comes in, because the wax tips do not, I repeat, do not seem to go through the holes, through the, you know, no matter how hard you try, it sort of gets stuck because of the way the wax has been put on the laces. It's sort of squashed and it sort of thickens the laces that it doesn't go through the loop. So that's the only downside. I don't know why they did that, but everything else on the shoe is fire. You know, is absolutely fire. Even down to the heel tab here, which says Riot on there. Yeah, man, just absolutely amazing colorway. And might I add, the black nubuck on here is phenomenal, especially the tongue. The tongue sort of feels like, you know, when you have a bottle of wine and on the neck you have the bit where you open, the first bit. It's almost like that, but it's
the top in it.
And also the tongue isn't as thick as normal sort of SB Dunks, by the way. So, you know, I went true to size on these and they were absolutely fine. So whatever your size is with Nike SB Dunks, if you're true to, if you are 8 or a 9, then go with a 9. So that's what I would say on these. Beautiful storytelling as it should be. And for me, it's a fantastic way to start 2025 in terms of SB Dunks. It absolutely fire. And I know there's going to be so much more coming out this year, especially like the Supreme SB Dunks coming out later and everything else. But yeah, this is perfect. And I honestly think that these could possibly be top 5 SB Dunk already in January for me. So yeah. Anyone in the chat, if you managed to get a W today, I can see already SD 380 got a W on the right SB Dunk. Congratulations to Lou82. I'm sorry to hear you didn't hit, but if the trend is as it is or as it has been over the past year, hopefully you can still cop a pair not too much above retail. So keep checking eBay, keep checking StockX. And if you can get a decent price, bro, then go for it. But also massive shout out to Killswitch as well, who did manage to snag a pair today. But yeah, there we go. Prices are like 15 over retail. So if you didn't hit, it's going to take £15 above retail.
Yeah.
If your haggling skills are good, then maybe even retail. But you know, you might be reaching a bit.
Yeah, I think we'll just go through the comments quickly before I move on to the 3 sitting next to me, even though I did a latest pickup video, but just quickly go through them. Karen saying Happy New Year to both of you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, bro.
Happy New Year to everyone as well, if we haven't said it already previously. But yeah, Ryan Smith, actually, let's go to his one. Air Max 90 Mandarin, probably old news. What's your thoughts?
Seen it, bro. Seen it today.
Let me have a look quickly.
Banging.
Yeah, I think
it's got like an orange swoosh as well, I believe, if it's the same one I saw today.
Is it I think it's the blue swoosh, the sort of Tiffany. I think it's these ones.
The Tiffany, yeah, and then the uppers and stuff, yeah. It's almost like the same color as your beanie.
Yeah, I know which ones you're saying. These ones though, these are mad, bro. I think, judging by the looks of it and the camo pack that we've spoken about before, the Air Max 90s look like they're going to get a lot of love this year. And bro, we've been screaming for this, bro. Like the 90 maybe sometimes has been too available and it sounds weird to some people, but from a 90s guy, like the 90 at one point could do no wrong in my eyes. But as of late, as the 90s, the 95s have got so much more love. The BWs at one point, 97s have come and gone again. The 90s have always sort of been slept on because they're so available. There's not enough like collabs on them. But yeah, sneakers and colorways like this changes my mind about a shoe, man. And yeah,
bro, they look fire, man. Honestly,
yeah.
I saw it today and I was like, I was thinking to myself, I know there's a lot of heat coming out this year. But I'm going to try and sort of dot a few 90s around the heat this year.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
if they continue to release colorways like this, I mean, that if you can see the toe area, which runs up, I think it sort of looks like suede or nubuck as well. It's not.
The toe box looks like leather, like perforated leather.
Yeah, no, the toe box is perforated leather, but the mudguard is.
Yeah, the overlays. Yeah, it looks like suede.
Overlays. Yeah, it looks like it's nubuck, so that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
It looks a bit like what the tree lines are, like that. Not shaggy, but like smooth suede. You know, like a little bit rough, but not too shaggy. You know. Yeah, I like these, man. I do like these.
The blue swoosh just pops as well. I mean, you look at it's like almost Tiffany blue swoosh, and I think it needs something like that to sort of, you know, just break it up a little bit. Because you've got black and then you've got orange, like two big color blocks there, and then that blue in the middle sort of separates them both, which is really nice.
Yeah, these are lovely, man.
Just a quick question though: would you have had blue in where it says Air Max? Would you have had that Tiffany blue as well, rather than orange?
Do you know what? No, you know, I'd say no, just because it would have broken it up too much. Do you get what I mean? It would have been a bit. It would have taken away from the blue on the Nike swoosh. Yeah. What about you, bro? What would you do there?
I would keep it the same, but I'll tell you where I would have put an extra bit of blue, and that is the air unit.
Bro, I was just about to say that as well. Yeah, 100%. Just to pop it a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? Just
black,
a little bit. Yeah.
Even better for me, anyway. It would just.
Oh, the insole, bro. Look at that insole.
Insole looks great. That insole looks great.
That's lovely. Wow, the fact that these are technically a GR as well, you know, that's pretty special, man. But yeah, I'm all here for it. Oh, okay.
Kyron, it is blue on the heel tab. So yeah, for me, that's a huge bonus, man. That looks really great. Look, let's not forget, last year was the year of the GRs. Let's be honest. GRs made huge headlines last year, and I think it's going to continue in that same vein this year as well.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah.
I agree, man. I think as many collabs we had last year that were amazing, you know, the technical GRs like the Unearthed and other GRs like, you know, the One Low Mockers, so many countless 95s, you know, 90 drifts as well. Like all these colorways and shoes sort of like got noticed a bit more, I think, man. The GRs really had their moment in 2024. But yeah, let's just quickly go back to the comments. A lot of people are liking this though, by the way, which I don't blame. Hopefully this is a pack, because they could do so much with the materials if they change the color palettes a little bit and mix and match. Do you know what I mean? That would be cool. But yeah, the 90s look like they're having their moment this year with that camo pack, the pink and black, obviously the orange pair.
Yes, orange pair as well.
I think there's a green too that we spoke about, but yeah, man, it looks promising for the 90s. Let's just quickly go. Where were we? Okay, so Kyron saying, just landed my Amaminia 95s today. Pumped to get them in after you spoke about them, man. Yeah, honestly, bro, amazing pair. I'm trying to not put myself off wearing them, but I'm like, it's got to be a special time to just to pull them out, kind of thing. But I need to wear them.
Oh my god, cane them up.
What's he saying?
Yeah, absolutely smashed it.
Oh yeah,
Charizard 90s.
Yeah,
that's the way I'm gonna look at these from now on. Charizard 90s. This is, you know what, bro? This is what I like about this pod, right? Is the fact that the chat come up with some absolute belters, man.
The mad names, I know.
Absolute belters. I'm telling you, that's sick. And also, Kane 'em up says he was eyeing up the Stash Air Force One. The prices, but last week when I done an unboxing, that was the last straw for his patience, and hence he is now waiting for his to get here. So Kane 'em up, you made the right choice, my bro. Absolutely great pair. There is someone just above me who also needs to act fast and perhaps get his pair as well. But yeah, honestly, you are gonna love them. You're gonna love them. Hopefully you went true to size, or maybe I don't know what your feet are like, or maybe a size half size down, but they fit amazing and really comfortable. And you're also gonna love the fact that the toe box will, I repeat, will hold up. So you got a fire pair of shoes and no worries about creasing, and they're Air Force Ones. So it's a win-win-win.
Yeah, man. We're just gonna go highlight a couple comments and then moving on. But yeah, Air Force One Stash definitely on my hit list too, bro. But yeah, it's the Mrs. 30th coming up, so I might have to hold out. And the Hyper Blues, bro, they're right around the corner, man. So well, a couple of days, isn't it? 23rd. So
Yeah,
2 more days.
Yeah.
Yeah, James is saying this is a bit mad without a filter, which I like because it's saying how he feels. James says Clint and Lorenzo ain't even in the same league. Clint is a total different entity. Lorenzo is dyeing stuff what anyone can do in their kitchen. Do you know what though, bro? I get what you're saying. Like, believe me, you're not, whatever you're saying isn't wrong, but anyone can do anything if they have the right tools. Do you know what I mean? And if they have the right connections, because a lot of the time it's not what you know, it's who you know. So for instance, if Clint didn't have all the connections, the marketing team, or his marketing, prowess, Corteiz as a brand wouldn't be where they are, because anyone can print t-shirts, anyone can print this pattern jumper, for instance. They find the right supplier and do it themselves, for example. But everything in between is what I think separates the product or the brand from the rest of them. Do you know what I mean? And obviously I could just be waffling, but at the same time, that's how I feel about branding. Because, bro, I tried a clothing company at one point. Like, I've got hats here that I've not sold because I've just not bothered. Do you know what I mean? Like, at one point, that was my dream, to start off a clothing company, doing hats, t-shirts, the rest of it. But I just didn't have the mindset I have now back then, like what, maybe 10 years ago when I wanted to do it. But yeah, what's your take on that comment, bro? Because that's a loud comment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, look, I would look at that and I wouldn't look at that as in, they're not in the same league because one's bigger than the other, if not whatever. Like, Clint's obviously had a little bit of a longer run, or a longer run at least, in what he's been doing, and they're doing totally different things. One is sort of mastering the art of intricacy using colors and stuff, and the other one is pioneering different sort of stuff on classic silhouettes. So two different entities, and it is who you know. At the end of the day, it is about the connections, and it is about creating hype and buzz around your product. It's the same principles with anything in life, not just shoes, but with any product. We've all seen what's the program, the Dragon's Den.
Dragon's Den, yeah.
You've got to go up there, you've got to hype your product, you've got to show them what's good about your product. And one of the things I like about Clint is that he goes the extra mile to sort of make sure that his product is out there and it's getting the correct exposure. For instance, last year he had all the what's the drones in the air last year, with the whole night thing in the skyline. That's, again, marketing genius, for doing that. But Lorenzo, I mean, look, what he's doing is, from what I can see, he's taken a different approach. He's letting his artistry do the talking, and he's creating that buzz around his work through sort of, you know, what he's doing. So yeah, everyone's got their own way of doing things at the end of the day. In terms of being leagues apart, you know, they're at different sort of points in their careers, should I say, because it is a career at the moment. But yeah, both are good in their own respective ways, we'll say. I'm not going to say one is better than the other because they bring different things to the table, sort of thing. So yeah. What does everyone else think, by the way? I mean, you know, chat, get involved, you know. What's everyone else's thoughts on it?
Yeah, let us know, man. It's a great topic in terms of like not comparing the two, but in terms of, you know, as a whole with collaborators and brands. Because some might say, well, a lot of people do say actually, Travis Scott's he's not doing much, but it's because of who he is, who he knows, his, you know, his presence, music, obviously, all of that stuff. Why people go mad for the shoes? Because all he's really done, apart from the color palette, really, is put a backward swoosh on a classic shoe, and that's that. Maybe change the tongue a little bit, whatever. But some people could argue that, and people still go mad for it. You know, yeah. Just to quickly echo what Libro said, the Mandarin 90s are part of the racing pack, and I've actually just found another colorway to that racing pack called the Speed Red. Now, yeah, this works for me, bro. This definitely works for me. There are other colorways too. He does go on to say red and black, gray pair. There's a blue and yellow pair coming as well. So yeah, that'll be interesting, man. So keep your eyes on the MX 90 Racer Pack. Very much like how driving or racing professionals, drivers wear their leather jackets. You know, you can definitely see what they're trying to do with obviously called the Racer Pack. But yeah, man, Hass, what are you saying, bro? Because you're starting to add more GRs to the collection, I can see.
Yeah, I'm always looking to add decent GRs, man. If I like them, I'll buy them. That's my motto. You know, I don't always, or I've never sort of followed the hype train on exclusives or collabs, so to speak. But, you know, if it's a collab that I like, I'll get it. If it's a GR that I like, I'll get it, you know. Yeah. Same with like the big money savings last year. That was a GR as well. Absolutely amazing. If it was a collab, I would have got it. But yeah, no, these are fire, man. I mean, the whole pack is looking like they're going to be bangers. And I like this sort of two-tone thing they're going with. You know, they've got the sort of like the black midsoles, and then they've got the solid color blocking up top as well. So yeah, I like what they're doing with this, honestly, and how they're doing it. So yeah, I think this will be another solid addition. And I'm not sure how difficult these will be to get. I don't think they'll be difficult to get. It's for GR at the end of the day. I think a lot of shoes in this bracket are going to be really obtainable, simply because there's going to be a lot of heat dropping. There's going to be a lot of major silhouettes and collaborations coming out this year on some great shoes. So I think people are going to be holding out for those. But the upside of it is, bro, that if you don't manage to hit on any of the sort of major pairs coming out this year, you're going to be able to get some great GR shoes. And that's what, you know, that's what I'm looking at the moment, is how can I fill the void? Well, here we are. You know, there's going to not only the 90s, but I guarantee you there's going to be so many great GRs this year. So many great GRs, man.
Yeah, I echo that, man, because even last year, yes, I didn't manage to pick up a lot of the hype shoes, but sneakers like, again, the Jordan 1 Low Mocha, bro, I love them to bits, man. And getting shoes or
classic example.
They're sitting, but maybe years ago they would have been sold out instantly, but they eventually sell out as well. And even though they're not hyped, they still get a lot of compliments, they still get a lot of looks, and they're very versatile. Like with a lot of these GRs that are going to be available, because the hype and all these sort of grail sneakers that you might be sort of more put on a pedestal, all these sort of sneakers like the Racer Pack, they're going to be grails in the future, bro. Believe me, because how many GRs back in the day, for instance, Air Max 1 Watermelon, the Curry Pack Air Max 1s as well, Air Max 90, reverse dot camos, like all these technically GRs, but now reselling for crazy money because they are like grails, people missed out or they want to double up. And it's mad. Kane's got a good question here. This debate is decided by Lorenz.og 95 versus Corteiz 95. Yeah, that's a mad one, bro. That's a mad one. To be honest, there's no losers though, bro, in my head, because they're both doing something great for the culture, especially like UK.
Which one's more limited?
That's another thing. That's another thing as well. Obviously, he did the whole thing with the Tony's chocolate bar, all that stuff, and it was even more crazy than this New Balance drop in terms of the hassle. But the Corteiz, he did a whole pack. Do you know what I mean? And still, they were as limited as could be because the way he did the drops, in person, that sort of scavenger hunt stuff, and he's still got another one coming out. So it could be sort of not quantity versus quality, but it's kind of like which ones could you even get in the first place kind of thing.
But you could argue at the same time, already Corteiz is signed up as a collaborator with Nike, so he's got the backing of Nike officially, so he's got that power behind him as well. So Lorenz.og hasn't got that at the moment, or didn't have that with his 95s, did he? Let's be honest. Whatever it did, sort of, he had to sort of promote himself and do it through his own avenue. So there is that as well. But look, let's just say they're both great in their own ways. Both produce shoes that, let's be honest, any one of us would take at the moment, especially the 95s. So man. Yeah, man. There's a lot of people on two different sides, which is it's good in terms of creating a debate. Do you know what I mean? I feel like what I'm trying to say is there doesn't have to be sides. You could appreciate both or one of the other, but they don't necessarily have to be sides, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
And not saying this is James, but I feel like some people's perspective is because of how they release a shoe or because they create such a limited amount of that certain shoe or drop, it is like people start to resent them because it's like, are you really for the culture? Because you're creating this sort of, this very limited amount of shoes. And if you were really a sneakerhead or for the culture or whatever, you would be making it a bit more, like you'd be doing an online drop or something like that. So where I can see some people get annoyed at Lorenz.og, I can get that. But at the same time, you'll look back in 5-10 years time and be like, wow, like that's the sort of stuff we need to still keep happening. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man.
I want to jump on one thing, bro, quickly. James in Sneakers says Lorenz.og last drop was just Instagram color palette from their logo. I've got nothing against the guy. I just don't believe the hype. But if we're going by that, James, if it's just your average Joe Instagram color palette from their logo, the fact that he's created this kind of buzz and hype, doesn't that show in itself that he's quite astute and clever in how he's building that buzz and how he's creating that buzz around what you're saying is just, your bang average sort of color palette from the logo. If he can do that with just an average color palette from their logo, if he's given the reins to do more, maybe he can, he can go on to bigger and better things. So the fact that he's done this with what you're saying is an average color, etc., surely that sort of earns him the right to sort of try and do bigger and better things with, some of the bigger companies out there.
But also, like, why has no one done it before then? If it's such an easy quote unquote thing to do,
there's that as well.
Why hasn't it not been done on this level or this scale where people are going mad for it? Like whatever the silhouette, whatever the collab, or things like that. That's why I say it's more about who because again, connections may have lined up in a way where people have noticed his work over an amount of time and then thought, okay, let's do this, let's do that, let's collab, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just one of them things, man. It's very interesting sitting from the outside, you know, as a content creator or someone that's in the culture, to see collabs that are sort of on my doorstep and been like, wow, like, you know. But yeah, let's go through the comments a little bit. Oh yeah, Mike saying it hurts me that my stash 95s hurts my feet. Bro, just a quick sidebar. The 95 stash review should be out this week. The proper review, I know I've been sort of putting it off. It's just other things have come up to do. But yeah, one thing I do have to say, that stash pocket, that little zip, I don't know about you, Has, but bro, it is definitely something that gets on my tits because, bro, it like digs in your ankle. Have you found that or not?
I've only worn them twice before I went to Miami, so I can't really say I've had issues with the zip as such. But over the next couple of weeks or so, why don't we try and find a solution? I'm sure we can.
Yeah. I think do you know what? It's more like putting the zip a certain way. Yeah. Or you could stash that pocket to make it maybe, do you know what I mean? With something soft. I'm just saying. But yeah, anyway, that's just something I've noticed, man. A lot of people look like they're saying the same thing too, regardless of sizing. Yeah, it's kind of one of them things. Maybe one of them things you have to get used to, or like on 10 Toes say, do loose laces. So yeah, man, pretty cool. Right. So what we're gonna do now, we're going to move on to the 3 that I picked up recently to review. Well, 2 mostly to review. And another one is for the personal. But New Balance 1000, the Cordura. I think they're called Woodland, but they're basically like a khaki colorway. Obviously, you can see the Cordura badge there.
The New Balance Air Max 95. That's what I call them.
And 97s, bro.
Air Max 95.
Honestly. Yeah. Because you know what? If you look at it from here, it looks like a Wave Runner. Do you know what I mean? That bit there.
Yeah.
That's
it's
mad.
taking inspiration from other shoes. You can see.
Yeah, definitely, man. But even like New Balance heads, I've like said they're not for them, and I get that. But there's something about this colorway, bro, that's really taken my liking. I don't know if it's just the color or the materials or both, but all these bits here, like that look black, are actually like a chocolate brown. Which is pretty nice. Yeah, man. I spoke about in the sort of triple unboxing I did. Very nice colorway, man. Probably one of the only colorways for me to take notice. 90 volts as well, the Gore-Tex.
Ooh.
As you can see there, the Gore-Tex branding on the tongue. It's a bit bright, but yeah. And then there as well, there's a bit more Gore-Tex for you.
I love that.
Yeah, lovely, man.
Well.
If you're going for these or any Gore-Tex 90, go half a size up for sure to make sure it's more comfortable. We need more stuff like this on an outsole, man. That's so cool. It is so cool. But yeah, man, I mean, we had the infrareds recently. Nice to see the volts. And yeah, what is it? Is it a 35th anniversary for the 90s this year?
Yeah, I believe. Think 35th anniversary. So, like I said, they're going to be doing big things this year. So,
yeah, very nice.
Very nice.
Right, the shoe I've been most excited about getting recently.
It's a big moment.
The Gel Kayano 14 metallic plums. Beautiful, man. Beautiful shoe. Absolutely amazing. I know all the Nike heads in the comments are going to be like, he's sold out. He's a traitor. No, bruh. You just got to like sometimes open up your eyes. And I know, you know, maybe 5-10 years ago, you got caught wearing an ASICS sneaker. You probably lynched. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them things. But bro, what a shoe, man. The mesh, the cream, obviously the metallic hits, the browns even, like the ASICS logo, the plum here. Wow, man. Even as soon as my missus saw these, because we was on a hunt for a pair of shoes for her for her birthday, like went into the New Balance store, JD, all the rest of it. Soon as she saw these, because she was like, I don't want nothing silver. I see all the influencers and girls wearing it. Soon as she saw these though, she's like, I want them. I was like, all right, cool. So ended up getting her the white navies, which is, I'm going to search it up on screen now. Yeah, man. ASICS, bro, they are absolutely killing it.
Talking about ASICS, there is a pair of ASICs that I may be adding this week. I'm still trying. Now, these shoes, I actually wanted them when they first come out. I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago now. I didn't manage to snag a pair, but a certain Mr. Wotherspoon did a collaboration with Atmos, and it was actually these ones. Yeah, come on. Can we see that?
Focus.
Right, let me focus that for you manually. Hold on.
Oh yeah, was it a gel light freeze?
The gel light freeze, the corduroy ones.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm actually trying to revisit these again, but I do like them. I do like them a lot, and I've actually managed to find a pair which is quite decent in pricing. Let me just focus this back. So someone's offered it to me brand new inbox, size 9 for 160. So
okay,
I may have to bite on that one. So yeah, but look, let's go back to your gel Kayanos, bro. But I had to mention it because it was ASICS as well, so give it its little moment. But yeah, these 14s, bro, I mean, you told me whilst I was abroad in the States, and I did a bit of digging around on them and stuff, and I thought to myself, you know what, if you're going to go for another brand, and ASICS being that, these gel Kayanos are probably it, bro. They are really, really clean. I know for a fact the comfort levels are through the roof,
bro. They're so light. Obviously they are very comfortable, but it's one of them shoes like you just want to beat up, like not in a bad way, but you just want to wear them all the time. And I know people wear them as a casual lifestyle shoe, a gym shoe, and everything else, like obviously initially it's got that retro runner vibe to it, but it's difficult because when you get a shoe like this, you're on to the next colorway. And it's kind of like the Air Max shoes. Like when you get an Air Max 1, you want that colorway, this colorway, all these sort of,
it's a gateway shoe, bro.
Yeah, it's dangerous, man. And this is why I've probably put off going to other brands. Like I've got a ton of New Balance in the collection, as you can see on the channel. But when you go to another brand that you're not as familiar with, because I've had ASICS in the past, but I've not kept them, you kind of get that itch, you're like, oh man, I don't want to wear these too much now, so let me get another colorway to beat up and then wear both of them.
Trigger finger.
Yeah, it's a dangerous one. So these are the ones I got.
Looks like you had a finger on that trigger this week, bro. 3 new pairs, yeah. Someone's been shopping.
Man, I've got 2 more pairs on the way as well, which are both 95. Right. So we'll talk, man. We'll talk. But these are the white midnights that I got for the missus. Got a good steal on eBay for 110, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah, very clean, man. Love the cream hits. She was definitely on this colorway. Like we were searching for like an hour or two one evening, and there's so many that look similar. There's so many that stand out for the wrong reasons, changing materials and colors. But yeah, this is clean. Man, I'm just gonna touch on the other 2 that I've got actually coming, and I think they're both on JD at the minute, which I did put in the Discord today. There was a shock drop for the reverse dust Air Max 95. So that was like a out of the blue thing, giving me the reverse neon and hyper crimson vibe with that same gradient, the reverse sort of gradient. Great colorway, man. So I've got those coming. And also I think they're called Jade Jewels. I think they are. It looks like they're sitting as well now, because there was a few restocks. They went super quick. I saw them in person in JD, but I didn't buy them because they didn't have my size. But yeah, great colorway, man. The only thing I will mention is some people aren't feeling the way the gradient is. There's kind of like a gap in between the gradient, and Air Max 95 purists, they want that gradient, that smooth sort of gradient. So
smooth transition, like through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yes, still that Tiffany blue, at the minute can do no wrong. Yeah, bro, what are you saying, Hassi? You feeling the 95s still, like with these GRs, or?
I love 95s, bro, honestly. But the problem I got, right, is they release too many dope colorways, right? And it's like you got to then decide, right, which one do I really want? Which one, that's what it's like with GRs. It comes down to what suits your color palette at the end of the day. These for me, look, I'll say it right now. Tiffany works with almost anything. That's just my take on it. I could put a Tiffany colored swoosh on your beanie right now, and automatically, it just looks great in my opinion. But no, these do look good, I must admit. But can I get something else which has a similar color palette that I might be more interested in? Yes. So yeah, I don't know, man. These are great, but I'll leave them at JD's for now.
Yeah, for me, as much as I'm like heavily invested in the 95, I think the amount that came out last year, like that I kept and love to death, it's like I need to slow down this year for the personal collection, because all these GRs are amazing. They may well be like top 10 GRs of the year, but as I've learned over the past couple of years, especially, you can only wear so many sneakers in your collection. So what's put me off sort of keeping a lot of sneakers and going for them in the first place is the fact you have to either get rid of them or send them back. And it's just a long, long process, man. But yeah, sneakers like this, though, if you're a 95 enthusiast, or even if you're a casual collector, these will tickle your pickle, man, because especially GRs, like colorways like this, if there was a name attached to it, bro, they'd be going like mad. Like if Corteiz was attached to this colorway, it will be like sneaker of the year. Do you know what I mean? It's mad how the brain works and how the sneaker game works as well. But
at the same time, I think if you're a 95 diehard 95 enthusiast and that's all you collect, then these have to be in the collection.
Yeah.
But the fact is, obviously, myself, I've got quite an eclectic taste with shoes, and I'm sure you're the same as well, bro. You've got different varying shoes. So to then pick up every single decent GR going, it's just not possible. So you have to be a bit more selective in what you're sort of purchasing and bringing back home. There's always going to be hundreds of shoes that drop every single year. It all comes down to what you want the most, what you value the most, etc., etc. But like I said, there's people out there that solely collect 90s, or people out there that solely collect dunks. If this is the case with someone who solely collects 95s, 100%, these,
then go for it. Yeah, exactly,
bro.
Exactly. Just going to James's comment, ASICS over New Balance. Oh, that's a toughie, bro. That's a toughie. Hass, what are you saying? I'll let you speak first.
I don't know, bro. Look, I've not got too many ASICS or New Balance, if I'm being honest with you. I did have some in the past, and I would say New Balance slightly has the edge, or even had the edge, because ASICS absolutely bossing it over the last year and coming into this year as well. The Gel Kayano 14 or the Kayanos have been an absolute mainstay, especially in the States where I was a couple of weeks ago. Everyone's on ASICS. Everyone's on ASICS. They have come so far, like leaps and bounds, to make their shoes visible like every day. Every time you go out in the States, it's like ASICS, 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 bit of Nike, bit of this, ASICS, ASICS. It's a credit to how far they've come. So if you're talking about how big these corporations are, obviously maybe New Balance takes that mantle. But if we're talking about who's producing a better shoes at the moment, it's a close one. I would say New Balance probably have more collaborations in their.
That's what I'd say as well. Yeah, I think if it's anywhere like that ASICS is lacking is the collaborations. Now I know they've got stuff with Kith and everything else, like amazing. But in terms of catalog or recent catalog, when it comes to hype, what people actually want, like the masses, New Balance, I think even you could say have blown Nike out of the water, because the past 3, maybe 4 years, you know, you've had the likes of Salehi Pembry. I'm definitely like going blank with all the collaborations, but collabs like that is what's flipped New Balance into a new level where even the cool kids, quote unquote, are wearing New Balance now. And obviously ASICS the same with the amount of people are wearing them. But yeah, it was all over YouTube. Like YouTube, you would never have seen 2015, say, any YouTuber or, you know, as a collective reviewing New Balance sneakers. It was all Jordans. It was all hype. Then it all switched, you know, like 2020, I'd say 2019, 2020, it all started going like collab after collab with New Balance. You know, obviously Action Bronson as well now. Like there's so many collabs, bro.
Yeah. I reckon it won't be too long before they get J-Tips on as well.
That would make sense. That would definitely make sense.
I know he's got a few things lined up with Saucony this year. I'm really anticipating what's going to come out next from J-Tips. But talking about J-Tips, I mean, look, let's not forget last year, you know, he mentioned that his daughter absolutely got ruined at school for having Canary Travis Scott's, you know, and that's exactly ties in with what you just said, you know, the sign of changing times and stuff, you know, that someone's getting absolutely ruined for having a pair of Travis Scott's on. No matter how, you know, it doesn't matter if like the Canaries are the sort of lowest of,
yeah, I know what you mean,
but they're Travis Scott's at the end of the day. So yeah, but Mike Vienna, yes, Gel Light 3, very comfortable, bro.
Yeah,
I'd be very hard pressed to find any sort of ASICS in their runners range anyway that isn't comfortable, you know.
Yeah, I agree, man.
West Side Gun collaboration with Saucony, yep, that is one of the ones to watch. James, you are absolutely right. You know, James in sneakers is a Saucony head like me as well, and I'm saying Saucony head because I've been massively converted last year, man. I think I bought about 5 pairs last year, and I anticipate getting some more pairs this year. Saucony for me are pretty much the dark horse when it comes to companies out there that are trying to rival the big boys. You know, Saucony for me, not much is being spoken about them, but they are there, you know. So yeah, having the likes of West Side and having the likes of J-Tips only makes them stronger.
Yeah, I think the only way like New Balance and ASICS can not catch up, but like emulate what Nike have done for decades and decades is literally give the people what they want in terms of collabs, you know, sneakers that stand out with how they look, with comfort, with somewhat affordable pricing. I know New Balance have notoriously given us £200 plus, you know, price tags to sneakers for years now. I think they were the first sneaker brands to retail a shoe for £100 or $100. I think I read that somewhere like years ago. But saying that, especially with New Balance, a lot of the time you do get what you pay for. The materials are A1, the presentation with the box, you know, and I'm just talking about the 990 series, let alone other models and collabs and stuff. But
bro, we're paying $190 for J3s. And the QC.
You see, it's
like everyone expects the QC to be poor, but when we're paying $190, $200, or maybe even $210 for a pair of New Balances or whatever it may be, you know the quality is going to be great. You know, and you expect the quality to be great. You know, and therefore paying that money doesn't become, you know, such a blow. You know. How many times did we have it last year? I mean, the Jordan 4 Military Blues, 190.
Man.
Fire colorway, one of the best colorways of the lineup last year. The only thing that let it down was the QC. You know?
Exactly.
And we paid $190 for that. But this is, I mean, look, this is an issue for another day. We can talk about it all day, but the long and short of it is, when shoes are mass produced, you know that the QC is going to be, you know, pretty undesirable. So, you know,
Yeah, exactly, bro. This could be a whole pod on its own, man. And I think
yeah, 100%.
it's a great discussion, because as much as me and Hass are diehard Nike boys, like, because we're their biggest fans, we're also their biggest critics. And if other brands are willing to, you know, give us like what we want at the end of the day, comfort, good looks, something different to what we used to, decent pricing as well, you know, like, we're not opposed to trying out different things, you know. Yeah, let's leave that one. Hass is saying, another Hass in the chat, yo, Irk, you see the new 2002 R Black Cats, yeah, which is these, it looks like. It's giving me like protection pack vibes. Yeah.
Yes, definitely, I can see that.
I love the 2002 R's though, man. I mean, I've got 2 pairs in my collection. I've got the second protection pack, which is like a grey and blue. And I've also got the black figs, which I did put in the current rotation video, the shorts video. Love this model, man. I know, I was going to say Nike. I know New Balance have slightly moved on to the 1906 R now, where everything is about that shoe, as opposed to the 2002 Rs. But yeah, it looks like these models, 2002 Rs, are still going strong, which is great, man.
It just shows you how, you know, they're getting that longevity out of their lineups now. You know, 2002 Rs, yeah, they're doing great. We don't need to do anything more on them, because people already know how good they are.
Yeah,
we can now move on to 1906, concentrate on that. 2002s are going to be just fine.
Yeah,
you know, when a company can do that, you know, they're doing something right. So yeah, man, look, kudos to New Balance. Honestly, they're making all the right moves at the moment, but more importantly, they've been making the right moves at the right time, bro.
Exactly. It's all about timing, man. Because say New Balance and ASICS were having their collabs and their moments back when Virgil was doing his thing with Nike and the original 10, would people be caring, or would people be even batting an eyelid? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, as much as it is.
Yeah, yes, one thing I would say, and apologies for cutting you there, bro, but Nike, every time they've been beaten with a stick, they've always responded.
Yeah.
And they've always found a way to come back bigger and stronger. So this is now what we're expecting. You know, me and you, we've been around the scene for a while now. We've seen the phases that Nike have gone through for quite a while. The good and the bad times. And one thing that has always been the case is that they always come back bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
You know, so we can expect that from this year. Trust me.
Yeah. Do you know what it is as well with Nike? Like, because they've sort of been around the longest to an extent in terms of hype and creating that sneaker culture on a mass level, not just sports and, you know, basketball. It sort of transcended with Jordan and everything. They've got that big part on their side of nostalgia, where a shoe that came out in 1985, the Jordan 1, Nike Dunks, Air Force Ones before that, whatever, people will always pick nostalgia over anything. So as much as we love trying out new things, as much as we can bash Nike and, you know, bash their shoes and quality and everything else, when a shoe retros, we're still going to buy it 9 times out of 10, you know? So it's a mad world, but that's just how the game goes, man. And especially for new sneakerheads or sneakerheads that missed out on the last retro beforehand, they're still going to be spending that 190, 210, whatever it is, because of it. Yeah, it's a mad time, but that's just how the game goes, man. The game is the game at the end of the day. But yeah, look, we'll move on, because we're going down that rabbit hole and we could spend hours talking about it. What I want to do now, though, is talk about a shoe that has been teased for quite a while now, or 2 shoes actually, because we've seen Nigel have his moment with the RMs, and now it looks like he's finally been promoted or he's going to be giving us the Jordan 4.4. like the proper Jordan 4. And it looks like there's 2 colorways, bro. This sort of orangey red, or brick by brick that people are dubbing it. Obviously giving us brick vibes with the color and everything else. The mini Nike swoosh is on that mud guard. But bro, if these don't give you Red October vibes, I don't know what will, man. These look amazing to me, bro. What are you saying, Hass? Are you feeling these?
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you. Soon as I caught wind of these, I thought, please let it be true. Please let it be true that these are actually, real, and he's going to be releasing them this year. And yeah, Nike Jordan decided to give him the rest of the shoe to a full J4, which is great. I'm just looking at the white laces on there. Looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
with the white shoelaces, amazing. These are going to be a tough cop, make no mistake, because being an actual full J4 and a bike air at that as well, it's going to be the first bike air iteration, should I say, of the J4, actual J4, not an RM. So these are going to be quite highly sought after. But again, we've got to go for it, bro. This one's gonna sting if I can't get a pair, but yeah, it looks great. I mean, the gradient and the colors. I think this one's based off the brick wall. I think eventually he's gonna run out of something to base it off. But for now, he will take whatever he's giving us. But yeah, these are great, man, and I think most of the chat can agree as well. One thing's for sure, and I think these sort of have the similar shape to like the pine greens. I'm getting that vibe. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. I get what you mean. Like the lower cut collar,
and like the toe area. Kill Switch saying heard his nan's curtains are up there. Chat, let's put it out there, chat. What do you reckon Nigel's going to use next from his grandma's house? Let's get some funny ones up there. Kill Switch is saying curtains are up next. I'm
saying lawn. It's going to be a green.
Lawn green.
Yeah.
He did have green as his first color, but
that was the fence, though, wasn't it? The fence green.
Yeah.
Got to have lawn in there.
Get involved. Let us know what is Nigel going to use from his nan's house next, and what color will it be? So back to what you were saying. Though, these are great. Are you going to go for them, bro?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because you got these, but then there's also the fire reds that have been teased as well. So I've always been gutted that I missed out on the fire reds in 2020, I think it was. Ever since then, it's been contemplating, should I pay resale? Should I just wait for the next retro? Because allegedly they were very uncomfortable anyway. And judging from certain leaked pictures and images, these are obviously, it was like a runway, I think. It's a bit difficult with the pictures, but I'll find some mock-ups. These were basically what he was wearing, this geezer, in his event. It's definitely the fire red. It's got the mini Nike swoosh just where the toe is. Hits of cream though. It's not like pure white, so it looks like it might have some aged elements to it. And whether he releases 2 at the same time or similar vibes to the RM, Hass, what are you saying?
Interesting. The swooshes, not backwards on this as well. If you look at Nigel Sylvester's, the mini swoosh on the toe area, it's backwards, but this one obviously is normal. But I mean, look, it's a dope colorway, man. You've got to say, and like you said, you've been waiting 5 years now, training hard in the gym for this moment. Making sure that you'll be able to cop a pair for yourself. Yeah, as you can see, it's almost light for light, bro.
These are mocked images, but it's most likely what it is, isn't it? That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, I would say. But look, one thing I've got to say is we're going to get so many come out, so many shoes next year. the chances are you're going to hit a 1 or maybe 2 out of countless drops next year. Let's be honest, we probably will. But if you could hit on 1 from all those drops next year, because the probability,
I mean, this year, yeah,
say that you will, which pair will that be?
Well, this year, 2025?
2025.
2025. Do you know what? My heart is saying Air Max 95 OG Neon Green, but my head is saying white cement 4s. Now, I don't know why. I really think the white cement 4s are going to be a bit easier to get than the OG Neon 95s, just because I'll be real, as much as I hope it's not the case, I think the white cements, it's going to be a similar case to the military 4s, military blues. Judging from the pictures, the quality looks the same, bro. And I really hope I'm wrong. But judging from the in-hand pictures, yeah, it looks like lesser leather in terms of that plastic feel. But yeah, to answer your question, if I could give one answer, it'll be the OG Neons, man. What about you, bro?
You know what, bro? I'm going to say it. You probably knew that I was going to say it anyway. I had it in my head that you was going to say the 95 OG Neons.
Yeah, yeah.
But you didn't let me down, bro. Definitely going to be going for those, by the way. But yeah, I think for me personally, it's got to be the Rare Air J4s.
Oh, wow.
Simply because I think that they're going to be more limited. I think the QC should be fine on those as well. It is a pair that, you know, I really loved. I mean, it's got a stunning look. For me, they just look stunning, man. Like the simple colors on there, and you know, it just works. Everything's so intricate, and yeah, let's have a look, man.
Yeah,
look at that. Yeah. Look at that. And when I say intricate, I mean look at the bottom. The bottom lace loop is red, top one black. You've got a nice sort of blue hit on the midsole. Then it goes to red. Then it goes to white, grey. Everything just works in tandem, man. It just looks great. It looks great. And for me, I know there's going to be better shoes coming out this year. I know there is. But for me, these just hit different, man. They just hit different.
Yeah. I think because it mashes up a few, you know, iconic colorways, the patches on the tongue, the Nike Air at the back, like all of these things that we love, it's like 3-4 sneakers in one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
you just know they're going to be turning heads, bro, no matter what. And it does what it says on the tin. It's rare. You don't see mashups of these colorways sort of like as often as OG colorways kind of thing. Yes, we're going to have undefeated 4s. Yes, we're going to have all these mad grail sneakers and everything else, you know, shattered backboards coming back, white cements, like I've said, but bro, it's whatever you are looking forward to the most, whatever sneaker that gets you most excited about, and as nervous at the same time about not getting it. That's the sneaker I think is worth the mention. Do you know what I mean? And it's interesting because how many sneakers are we talking about on the pod where it's like, yeah, can't wait to get these or try and go for these. But if you missed out, would you really be paying the resale price or would you even care as much? But there are certain sneakers like this, like the OG 95s for me, where it's like, no matter what, bro, kidneys are up for sale. I'm getting that shoe. Do you know what I mean? Even if I have to pay resale, even if I have to, you know, sell some shoes to make room, whatever, like, yeah, man, I think that's the one that stands out. But Tez is saying Rare Air's defo sitting. Ooh, I don't know, bro. I don't know. You might be right, the way the market is, but
I really, honestly, genuinely hope that you're right. I don't think it's going to be the case. I think around these shoes, there will probably be quite a big buzz and quite hyped up and stuff. So I don't personally feel they'll be sitting, but you know, you can never rule it out. You know, just got to look at last year. with the black cements and everything else. You know, the way they went. But yeah, these I've got to say, you know, different breed, man. I just think they'll be a bit more difficult to cop.
Yeah, I agree, man. We're gonna move on though to the bread Jordan 1 high. I was about to say low, but yeah, there's a lot of mixed bag, even in the chat alone, but online, a lot of things circulating about limited to 10,000 pairs. But at the same time, there was like so many early pairs floating around. So it's like, what do you believe? Do you know what I mean? It's an iconic colorway. It's an iconic shoe. Technically, the one that started it off, even though the whole band thing was the, it wasn't this shoe. What was the shoe? I forgot the name of it now. You know which one I'm talking about? The one you got, bro. The NY ones.
Yeah, I know.
Can't remember the name.
Awake.
The ships, airships.
Airship.
Yeah.
Awake, New York.
Yeah. So the airship bread is what was the banned shoe that Nike marketed very smartly, even back in the 80s, to create the buzz around this shoe, even to this day. But yeah, a lot of people are saying it's super limited. It's going to be 10,000 pairs minimum, max. And yeah, for me, I feel like I'm Jordan 1'd out, if that makes sense, or hide out, because I've got my Chicago's, the Lost and Founds. I've got the Spider-Mans, and I think I'm done, man. I've got rid of the lucky greens that I had. I've still got the gorge greens I need to get rid of. Like, it's not for me. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them shoes, bro, but it's iconic. Don't get me wrong. It's probably the one that a lot of people hold to, you know, high regard of being the only one of Jordan 1s, like, you need kind of thing. But yeah, Hass, are you interested in going for these, or are you giving these a miss?
Well, look, depends on numerous things. For me, again, like you, I am quite Jordan 1'd out and everything else, but being a massive Jordan fan, I love the whole, you know, the stories behind it, his legacy, and the stories behind the shoes, each and every one that he's worn. These hold probably the most significance for me. And I honestly do think it's probably one of, if not the most sort of iconic sneakers in the history of Nike footwear. That I'm going to say it has to be. Or sorry, Jordan footwear, because it's a Jordan brand. But yeah, for me, you know, I was quite excited about these. It holds a lot of historical value for me. I remember the time, obviously, when it happened and stuff, being a kid myself, and then sort of learning about the story more in depth as I got older. But yeah, you know, the whole thing around them being banned, fined £5,000, $5,000 a game, I think it was, and the whole buzz around it. Yeah, it's crazy. These shoes, you know, they like I said, they hold a lot of historical value. So for me, the story side of it, and the nostalgia and everything else, I think these are going to be one of the must cops for me personally, and rightly so. These are being released in limited quantities, so 10,000 is nothing. And if I do hit on one, you know, it'd be great. You know, I've got something that's, you know, really iconic, means something to me, and piece of history. But they tell a story, man, and that's what I like. I like shoes that tell a story. And yeah, this tells a great story from Jordan. So yeah, and I don't think they're bad looking shoes either, to be honest with you. I mean, the bread colorway is always a pair that's going to stand out. So
yeah, it's iconic, man. And we know, like,
in red, and you know, almost that old school swoosh on there as well. Yeah, man.
I really like the cut of this as well. Like, compared to other Jordan 1s we've had recently. And obviously it's 40th anniversary of Jordan brand, bro. Like, So they're definitely giving us like a lot of the things we've been wanting for a while. Shattered backboard ones again, like I've said. All the Jordan 4s, the SBs are coming out. These, the breads. Yeah, it's going to be an amazing year for Jordans. It's just for me, after this year.
You're going to say the pricing?
Oh, no, I don't. Honestly, I think if you're into Jordans, you know where the prices are. Do you know what I mean? And you're willing to pay that price. I was going to say, like, where do people go? Like, where do Jordan brands and I guess Nike, where do they go next year? Because imagine you got the 30th anniversary to the 95s, 35th to the 90s, the 40th to the Jordan brand. What can they do next year, bro? And I know I'm thinking way ahead. We're January 2025, but I just hope they don't shoot all their, shots. And then it's like we create this whole mad hysterical year for sneakerheads and OG silhouettes and colorways. And then it's like, all right, nice all runners next year and GRs that we don't care about and want. But yeah.
I think a lot of people were saying, I know Kane saying, it's a bit of a slap in the face for people bringing out such low numbers. But at the end of the day, it's a fine balancing act for Nike. They've got to sort of retain some sort of exclusivity for people, It's a real double-edged sword here. It's if you release everything in high numbers, it sort of loses that sort of exclusivity and the value and everything else. You don't end up like, look, let me give you the MX1 Cherry Woods, for example. All right, limited numbers, not many people have those. And if you've got a pair of those, it's a pair that you cherish and you're proud to have in your collection. And for me, it is a real fine balancing act, because it is, like I said, piece of history, on the anniversary as well. 10,000 pairs, it gives you that sense of exclusivity. It gives you that buzz. It gives you that, that feeling in your stomach that you're going to be getting something that's worth. It will be worth a lot, I would say, but it's giving you something that you can have like a prized possession.
Yeah, I get that.
But let's be honest. It's like a lottery these days. The shoe game, whatever you want to call it, it is like a lottery. You get a pair that's highly sought after. You get a pair, but like I said, it's a balancing act, man. And they have to. They have to release things in limited pairs. Sometimes, they can't just release everything. We saw with the Wu-Tang Dunks, people were saying, "Oh, easy cop, bricks, this, that, and the other." What a shame, man. Those shoes were like, for some people, the holy grail. You know?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I lost this significant sort of thing. Don't get me wrong, I've got a pair, and I love them. I'm glad I've got a pair because it still holds that that value and significance to me, because it signifies a time in the culture where everything was sort of becoming synonymous with each other, like the music scene, the rap scene, everything was sort of mishmashing and merging into one. Wu-Tang was a part of that culture. But I know I've gone on a bit of a long-winded one here, but I just had to answer that about quantities and stuff. And we all wish that things could be released in major quantities, but it's not going to happen. And
yeah, I want to say though, bro, I want to ask you and the chat, like, we moan a lot about QC and materials and everything, but when you got a shoe that is allegedly, because we don't know officially like numbers, it's just all what online is saying. Now, obviously there's no smoke without fire, so it could be the case, but we've seen time and time again where sneakers with allegedly low numbers, you could still cop. So there's that. But I want to ask everyone, has obviously chime in too, but like, would you rather, a sneaker you could potentially get with better quality but lower numbers, or a sneaker with low quality and higher numbers where you could easily get? kind of thing. Because remember, resale prices, because it's the bread, because it's the anniversary, because these maybe 10 years time are going to be dubbed the 40th anniversary bread. So these will be going for a pretty penny in maybe 10 years, five years time, whenever. But it's that sort of, like you said, that double-edged sword where would you rather better quality, less numbers, or less quality and higher numbers? You can't. I don't know if you can have both, bro. Do you know what I mean? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, you can't. That's the thing, though. You can't have both. If that was the case, we would.
Yeah.
The fact is, the cold hard fact is that they have to do it this way. They have to do it this way. And I agree with it to a certain extent. I do agree with it because, you cop a pair of these and 15, 20 years time, you pull these out. I don't know. You might have someone come to your house or whatever, wants to have a look at your collection, just giving you a scenario, and you pull these out and it's like, bro, like, this is like the holy grail, man. This is like amazing. I remember when these were released, blah, blah, blah. It just something to cherish and feel proud of at the end of the day, you know? So, yeah, I think we have to accept that things are going to be limited. It's like if you have a chance to get a Ford Mondeo or a Lamborghini, which one are you going to go for?
Yeah, I get that. I get the comparisons, man. It's just, as a sneakerhead, bro, you want it all. And I speak for everyone because we want the quality. We want good pricing, obviously. We want a story behind the shoe. We want a bit of history. We also want the shoe, though. That's the problem. So if you have it all, which is what the bread is, the story, the piece of history, all what signifies of what Jordan Brand is and what started it all. Do you know what I mean? Obviously people are moaning about the price, that the 10, 20 pounds increase. I get that. But the limited numbers as well. If these had 100,000 pairs released, people wouldn't care, bro. People wouldn't even go for them. Like, that's what I'm trying to think of. Like in terms of
bricks,
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where shoes that have higher numbers are called bricks because they're not sold out instantly. But I get they're not breads. They're not the Jordan 1 bread originals, whatever. But we just want it all, man. And we can't, bro. We can't have it all. That's just the reality of it. Yeah,
exactly. And like you just said there as well, the fact that they get called bricks, it sort of excludes its exclusivity, if you know what I mean. It diminishes its exclusivity, and therefore it's like, well, it's just another pair of shoes that I can kick to one side, I don't need to. Yeah, so yeah, for me, these are in a nutshell, they're iconic shoes, man, and rightly so. But that's my opinion. Like you said, as sneakerheads, we want it all. And it's all about that buzz and the excitement, the feeling you get in your stomach when a new drop's about to hit, it is what it is.
I think Kane saying the stash release had good quality and numbers. It can be done. I don't know with the UK, bro. I don't know if you are UK or US or wherever. We had no chance in the UK, bro. Like, there was not a single person that I knew that copped from or got a dub over here. Like, it was all paid resale before the prices went up because it was very low before release, or either just bought them on the Stash website. So
I mean, I got mine from StockX. I remember.
Yeah, same.
Release. And I got it for retail, to be fair, and so did you.
Yeah, exactly. I got one pair from one block down though, which I kept because the StockX pair, the QC wasn't the best, so I ended up selling them for like £30 more. So I was like, do you know what? Just sold them. I sold them back to StockX actually, because basically StockX do a thing where if you sell a shoe you bought within like 3 months or something like that, you don't pay no fees. So yeah, I put an ask on there and I got like 30 quid. So I was like, do you know what? I'd rather keep one of them where I know I'm going to love to death and has better quality and stuff like that. But yeah, we're going off on a bit of a tangent. Some of the comments though, on 10 toes, sneakerheads need more dignity and self-respect. Do you know what? We don't need dignity or self-respect. We just need shoes, bro. No, I'm joking. Do you know what? It's true, man. But the game is the game, bro. Like, we're kind of like so immersed in this game where we don't sell our soul. That's mad stupid to say, but it's kind of like we do everything for these shoes, and if it's not up to our standards or liking or, you know, certain waste released, we like throw our what's the saying? We throw our toys at the pram or the buggy. So yeah, man.
Say that about anything, not just shoes, right?
Exactly. It's true. It's
I mean,
true.
you see every week around football grounds, every fan moans about the team, the players, the manager, you know, and they follow their team around everywhere.
Yep.
You know, I go to a football match and minimum is £100 that I spend, you know.
Mad.
So imagine someone who goes every week. You know, it's the same principles on 10 toes and anything in life. Where someone follows something or is addicted to a certain thing, you know. So I hear what you're saying. I really do. But it's not all doom and gloom, man.
Yeah. And the thing is though, like we can be Karens when we're spending our hard-earned money for a shoe to a brand that don't really care. Like, let's be honest, like, and that's why, circling back to what we're saying about ASICS, about New Balance and Saucony, like we're so diehard for these brands, and, you know, Nike, Jordan, whoever the hype brand is at the time, but they don't care, bro, because either way they're making billions a year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're still going to sell their shoes, whether it is at a discounted price. Remember, these shoes cost about £2 to make, bro. And when you think of stuff like that, I feel sick. But again, the game is the game, bro. So it's either you want the shoes or you don't. You pay the resale, you pay the retail, or you don't. And that's it. Like, you know, I get the whole social media aspect has changed the game so much when it comes to early reviews, early news topics, obviously complex sneaker news, whoever is talking about the shoe. But it's all down to you, how you're spending your money, whether you're willing to spend that resale price, that inflated mad resale and retail, whatever it is, you know, £10-20 more above a normal Jordan 1. Yeah, I could go on, man. But yeah, either way, like I said, we're always going to find something to moan about as a society, as a human being, whether it is catching a train. Oh, it was 1 minute late. Okay. Getting some food, you know, from McDonald's or wherever you're buying. All these things, we find something to moan about, bro. Like, it's just how we are as human beings, man. But yeah, we're going to talk about something though that was a bit of a shock to most. SNS, bro, has filed for bankruptcy. Yeah, it was mad, man, if I can spell bankruptcy. Because obviously SNS over the sort of like the past few years has been like a staple. Well, for a while, to be fair, has been a staple shop. But I don't know. When I think about it now, I don't think I've ever won off SNS on a raffle. But again, they've had some sneakers that I've copped easily for retail that shouldn't have been that obtainable. But yeah, still, man. I found out about 1-2 in the morning, I think it was. I shared it on my story, and then I woke up about 9-10. I think I woke up because obviously little one. But yeah, it was a crazy thing, man. What was your first reactions, bro?
Yeah, first reaction was wow. Like, you know, I remember SNS from like the late 90s. I think is late 90s, 2000, maybe something like that, where it first opened. I thought the London store was shutting or something, because obviously they said they're filing for bankruptcy and stuff. So I was like quite like, what's going on? Because it was like one of the very first, not one of the very first, but one of the very first main sort of indies to open up. So, you know, I use them quite a bit as well from back in the day, currently. And yeah, it's just sad to see, because one thing I don't want to happen is you know, this trend of indie sort of going out, very more regularly, because we had it last year with Hannon as well. Scotland, they shut down. That was another great store that, you know, I used to sort of shop from. They had some great launches there as well. Some real gems, man, honestly. And it's sad to see these places sort of closing down and stuff. But from what I gather is they filed to bankruptcy, but they're looking at a different business plan, business model, or whatever it is to sort of make a comeback. I don't know in what capacity or how, or whether they're going to change anything. But SNS is, you know, SNS has been part of, you know, the culture for a very long time now, you know, and successful enough to hold stores in London, Paris, New York, wherever, Los Angeles, I think. So yeah, I do hope whatever troubles they're going through, it sort of subsides, and you know they can come through the other end. But yeah, like, what's your experiences with SNS? I think the last cop I had from SNS was my Jordan 4 wet cements.
Nice.
Was it the wet cements? I can't remember now.
The grey pair,
yeah, the grey pair.
Yeah, wet cements.
Yeah, the wet cements. Yeah, I had, that was the last one I copped from there. So yeah, I have had some joy out of there, and I think also the Wu-Tangs. So I hit on a couple at least.
Nice, man. Yeah, you know what? Sneakers and stuff, as much as I don't think I've ever won off there in terms of raffles, there's been like sneakers on there you've been able to get for retail that technically you shouldn't be able to get. Like I've seen the Wu-Tangs sit on there that were easier to get than most places. A few Jordans and some hype shoes, which is good. It's always been a good experience. Even just going into the store to have a little mosey around and feel good vibe, you know, like very aesthetically pleasing. Staff is super nice, and it's kind of like a whole vibe of the store and the brand. I believe they were founded in '99 in Stockholm, Sweden.
So, yeah, late '90s.
For them to grow as much as they have, and like you said, Paris, London, wherever, it is upsetting. But in this climate, bro, you have to adapt or you're done. Like the things that Offspring do to always continuously like keep them afloat and keep them flourishing, opening up a new store in King's Cross, the way they raffle, the way they market themselves or get people to market that brand, hosting little events in their stores, you know, and just collaborating with digital creators, like making articles, all these things. I feel like you have to adapt. You have to do these things, and you can't just rely on retail and just having a shop, because as much as I love sneakers and stuff as a shop, a retail store, you're not really that much clued into the whole social aspect of it, the whole social media aspect. Like, who here really follows sneakers and stuff online? Like, I know it sounds bad and horrible, but you're not really going to their Instagram page to check what the latest, you know, stuff is happening with them and releases. Whereas, again, going to Offspring, for example, you're actually following them because of what they're doing and how they're doing it in terms of releases. You're picking colored doors, you're doing all these things, sharing stories and entering raffles in a certain way. And yeah, I hope they stay afloat. I hope they either have to do something different to make that comeback or keep, you know, afloat again. But yeah, bro, I can see them going online only if you ask me, initially anyway. I mean, I could be wrong, but I believe there was I don't know if it was Hannon before they shut their doors. I think there was another store that just went online only. I can't remember the name, but yeah, if you have to do it, bro, you have to do it just to get back on your feet. Do you know what I mean? It feels like
100%. I mean, but they're huge part of, you know, the culture, like I said. And you know, even back then and throughout their time, they were doing pop-ups and stuff and collaborations and things like that. You know, they were always up to different things. Like Offspring weren't the only ones to do it. SNS were doing it from back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, let's hope they get it sorted out, man. Even if it means they're going to go online, that could be a good thing. You know, everything's going on, like for them, I mean, you know, because everything's going online at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see, man.
Yeah, it feels like whether it is SNS or whoever, sometimes you have to kind of just 3 steps back to go 10 steps forward kind of thing. It's kind of like that. That's what it feels like. So hopefully it's not the end. Hopefully it's just a reset, maybe a rebrand, and some big investor comes in and saves the day. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, just some big news, man, in the sneaker community. Some of you probably thinking, who cares, bro? They sell shoes. I'm going to go somewhere else to buy them. But yeah, man, it's just one of them things.
It's more than that though, bro. Like I go into, let's say, Route 1, maybe twice a month. I go there if I can, maybe more if I can. And it's not only the fact that they sell stuff, they sell shoes or clothing or whatever. It's the whole vibe as well. Like you go there, you meet members of the community, you meet staff members who are members of the community. You network with people. You know, it's not just about networking online, it's networking face to face with people. You know, we've lost the sort of art of being face to face with people and actually talking about stuff. And you know, it's a shame because I enjoy that side of it. I enjoy that side of, you know, getting up, going somewhere, having a chat about something, you know, looking at stuff in store. Once we take that away, what's it going to be? What's it going to be?
It's going to be literally like robots just ordering shoes and then getting them delivered. That's it.
And yeah, I can, like Harry Nelson says, the rent alone is probably 10K plus a month. Yeah, it probably is. Where it is, I mean, the store in Shoreditch probably is. And again, Route 1, where it is, Covent Garden, and they've got another one in Regent Street. That rent alone is probably more than 10K, maybe even. Who knows? But they must be doing something okay to be up and running still. So
yeah. Man, I feel you on that one, bro. Because even like maybe last year or something, when I obviously was still in London, I remember picking up the Air Force One color of the month when that first came around. A couple of years ago at this point now, I'd say. You go into the store, you have a little walk around, you know, have a look, and then you just start chatting to the guys or girls in there, and you're like, oh, by the way, I've got this YouTube channel, or I'm a sneakerhead. How long you been collecting? What are you into? That kind of thing. Oh, these are nice. You know, do you have any more? And you just chat, bro, because whoever's in that retail store, especially a sneaker store, I can't speak for all like retail stores, but if it's more sneaker dominant, that shop, it's like they have somewhat of a passion for shoes. Like it doesn't have to be on your level or, you know, vice versa, but in some way or fashion, you're going to have that mutual thing of, I like shoes. So you're going to talk, you're going to network, and that's the power of it, man. Sometimes you can ask, oh, when are these coming out? Or do you have any in store in this raffle? I know some people that go to Foot Patrol, for example, on a need to know basis of in-store Travis Scott raffles, just because they've spoken to people in that store and just found out like that, for example. Now, if you don't network, if you don't like that side of it, you're never going to go to an in-store raffle, and that's fine.
Exactly.
But there's that aspect to it, man.
Go to an indie somewhere up in Birmingham, or I know other people that go to other ones where they'll phone up, there's a drop coming up, have you got any in store?
Yeah.
Can you know, by any chance, can you hold a size for me? Not all of them will do it, but some of them do. And you just rock up, pay for your goods, and bang, you don't even need to enter a raffle. But you know, like my whole thing is, where are we going with all this? Because, you know, is it going to be a case of what everyone's just going to do meetups online soon? You know, we're going to have a group chat online. You know, let's do a meetup online. Oh, lift your feet up. Let's see your shoes. You know, on today. You know, it's just ridiculous. You know, so for me, it's like myself and you and myself. We're going to Kicks and Coffee next month. Yeah, and it's probably going to be a great event. You know, we'll talk to people, good vibes. People have stuff on that we'll talk about. You know, and it's a good chance to network and see what other people are saying, what other people in the industry are up to, this, that, and the other, you know. And my worry is that I don't want that, you know, that to fade away, that sort of vibe to fade away, you know. We need that physical interaction.
Yeah. It's like most things, isn't it? It's like when you go to concerts or you go to like HMVs, for example. How many of those have shut down? Like I can only name a couple that I know that are still open. Where you go into a store, you're buying physical things, and you're able to talk to the people about things. You know, like it's a mad world. But at the same time, if you're not supporting these places, or if you're not at least, you know, like going in there or trying your luck on a raffle in these sort of indie shops, or, you know, not as well supported shops, it's kind of like where it's going to head. Yeah, man. Either way, it's again, the game is the game, bro. Like that should be the title of this video, man. It's sad, but
Game is the game.
You know, it's kind of like where it's sort of heading a lot of these things, whether it is shops and releases with low numbers and stuff like that, man. But yeah, I think we're going to start wrapping up, bro. It's coming up to 2 hours. It's been a great pod, man. I genuinely don't know where the time goes, bro. Honestly, it's crazy. But
we missed a whole host of stuff as well. But you know, we'll carry it over to next week, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, is there anything else like pressing for you that you wanted to get out there, bro?
Not really. You know, I mean, we've got. Well, you were on the My Souls Fly live on Instagram, so I'm gonna shout that out, man. Yeah. So yeah, big that up, bro.
Yeah, I believe it was on Sunday. Done a live with My Souls Fly on Instagram. Those that don't know, head over to Instagram. You can either head on to mine, HB Kicks, or My Souls Fly with a Z, My Souls Fly, and check the boys out over there. Really knowledgeable. Really knowledgeable boys, doing a lot of good stuff over there on the African continent. And yeah, it was just really cool vibes, man. Spoke about a whole host of stuff, really interesting subjects, and I got to share a few of my my sneakers as well, and a bit from my history as well. So yeah, if you fancy something to watch, get over to Instagram. It's all on there. And have a little watch. I believe tomorrow I will be doing a pod with the one and only Prozac. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one. I'm not sure yet what time that's going to be, because it's been kept as a mystery so far. So, but if you go onto YouTube, you can probably look at his socials or anything like that, and it'll give you an idea of what time everything's going to be on. But yeah, like a busy week for me, man. Loads of pods, loads of stuff going on.
That's it, man. Getting yourself and the brand out there again. Networking, man. That's the power of it. Like, it's all about connecting with you guys as well, with people in person, people in the sneaker community, UK, US based, wherever. Like, it's a beautiful thing. And that's why we're urging people, like, not because we have anything in the game, a horse in the race. It's more like keeping that culture going. So when we're talking about going to these events and actually going together now, it's like, yeah, that's what it's all about. You know, whether you don't even buy shoes, you just want to go chop it up, get a coffee, buy some merch, you know, stuff like that. It's all good, man. But yeah, we'll just wrap up there, bro. Hass, obviously, as always, man, shout out your bits, bro. And what else you got going on?
Yeah, HB Kicks, check it out down there. It's my Instagram handle. Go on there. I am starting to upload a few more things on there in terms of reviews and stuff. I have done a short review on the Riot Skate SB Dunks on there. Also, currently working on my own channel to get some bits and bobs on there.
Yes.
And I will share one of my concepts, which I'm also working on. I've already got some content and stuff, which will concentrate on heat on feet, basically out on the streets. So it might be anywhere in London, and just talking to random people with heat on their feet and getting a bit of feedback about where they obtain their shoes from, what it means to them, why, etc., etc. So it's an interesting concept, but it will all come with good time. So just to give you guys an idea of what I'm going to be trying to get across to you lot. So yeah.
Lovely,
And
man.
also I just want to say thank you to everyone in the chat as usual, man. I can't go through everyone, but week in, week out, you guys are great. We didn't even get to go through Nigel's grandma's house. We did call it, but you know, we'll bat some out next week, man. Thank you guys, honestly.
Yeah, thanks as always, man. You guys keep the show going. We didn't even get through the retro or nostalgia part of the show. We're going to roll it over to next week. It's just we had so many sort of deep conversations about topics that were very interesting from you guys, from us. Yeah, like I said, 2 hours, man. I don't know where the time goes, but yeah, it's a great time this year in terms of releases. It's a great time to be a sneakerhead. I'm going to leave links to Hass's profile, Instagram down below. Obviously follow him. Also links to the Kicks and Coffee event to get your ticket if you're UK based. Yeah, man, we're going to be there. Try and do a lot of great content. I'm going to bring some equipment. We're just going to chop it out with people, man. People we know, people we don't. See what's on feet, you know, see what's the event is saying itself. And yeah, just waffle like we always do, bro.
Right,
next week.
Anyone in the chat, anyone in the chat who wants to come down. Let's meet up. Let's have a chat, man. Bring some cookies as well if you want. I love cookies with coffee. So listen, come down and see us, man. If anyone's in the UK or London or just wants to come down for the day, it'll be so amazing to see any one of you guys, and we can just chop it up in real life, man.
That's it, man. That's what it's about. Yeah, like I said, we're going to keep going every Tuesday. If it changes, obviously we'll let you guys know in advance. Follow the Discord, links down below as well. And yeah, man, just follow our socials, links down below. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff over here. And yeah, man, guys, you've been amazing. Until the next episode, peace.